What's going on, Knicks fans? Welcome to another edition of Knicks Latest, your go-to YouTube channel for everything Knicks related. We're talking rumors, headlines, roster moves, trade speculation, scores once the season starts. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're trying to build a Knicks community here going into the most anticipated Knicks season in the past 25 years, since the Ewing era, a year in which we think our New York Knicks can finally make the NBA Finals and possibly win the NBA Finals as well. Drop a comment. I do take your comments. I do use them as content. I answer your questions. I respond to your comments and your concerns. This is a show that welcomes everybody into the community as long as you're an objective Knicks fan who's actually rooting for the Knicks, not a Knicks hater. We don't take any of those. All right, here we go. Now, Media Day was yesterday. Did a show about that, about Mike Brown, his philosophy as a coach, the starting five. We'll get into more of that later. Jalen Brunson and his role going forward with the Knicks. But there was also something that dropped yesterday. Shams was on NBA Today, and he said that Malcolm Brogdon is expected to have a key bench role in this and be in this rotation, which I found interesting because they still haven't found a way to move any pieces to get him onto the roster. But it looks like, according to Shams, if this is true, the Knicks are going to find a way. Malcolm Brogdon is going to be on the team, and not only is he going to be on the team, he's going to be in the rotation. I think it's a good thing. Malcolm, he is a former Rookie of the Year. He is a former Sixth Man of the Year. When he is healthy, he's somebody who can contribute to a team offensively, defensively. He's just a really good overall player. He would be a solid backup player, backup point guard for Jalen Brunson. We do have Tyler Kolek right now. We'll talk about that in a second. But right now, I know a lot of Knicks fans and maybe the Knicks organization is not comfortable with Tyler being the main backup. You have Deuce, you have Jordan Clarkson, both who are kind of swing players, not really ball handlers, not really players you can put the ball in their hands to have them bring it up the court and start an offense. More of like a prototypical two guard, even though they can handle the rock a little bit. Malcolm is somebody who is a bona fide point guard, somebody who can bring the ball up, start an offense, fit into the offense, doesn't need the basketball, somebody who the Knicks need in case something happens with Jalen Brunson. So I do like this fit. I liked Malcolm signing a non-guaranteed contract. I was on the sign Landry Shamet train, which I still am. They did sign him. It looks like they're going to keep him as well. I think they're going to have to find a way to move Dadier, Kolek, someone like that to get Malcolm on the team. But if Shams is correct here, Malcolm Brogdon's going to be getting big minutes for the New York Knicks, and that's a really exciting thing if he can stay healthy. That's the problem. That's been the problem with Malcolm for the past few years, his ability to stay healthy so that he can contribute in a meaningful way. You are relying on somebody who has a big injury history here, somebody who may not be available, and you're going to be trading someone that you're just going to have to. You're going to have to trade someone to get that spot who might be healthy all year and who might be able to contribute in a way that Malcolm can't if Malcolm can't get on the floor. So to me, it's a little bit of taking a risk, but the window is open now. I don't think the Knicks are looking forward to the future. They have some projects on their roster. They're going to have some projects in the G League, but right now, all that is secondary because the window is open. So this is another indication that the Knicks are going for it all this year. I think Leon Rose and company really understand that this year is probably the best opportunity they're going to get. You don't have Tyrese Halliburton for the Pacers. You don't have Jason Tatum for the Celtics. The East is pretty much wide open. Right now, it's looking like the East is between the Knicks and the Cavs. I know the Magic are going to have a good year. The Hawks, some people think, are sleepers. I don't think the Celtics and Pacers are going to take too much of a step back, but I don't think they're contenders. This is the year, and I think Leon Rose knows it. I think this is, when we look back on it, if the Knicks don't win a championship, we're going to point to this year right now and saying, well, they should have done everything they could to win a championship. And I think Leon Rose and company are doing that right now. Now, with Malcolm coming in, begs the question, what happens to the rotation, the people in the rotation, and who gets moved? Is Tyler Kolek gone? Is it Kolek? Is it Dadier? Who knows? But I think it's going to be Kolek. He's somebody who is an older young player. I mean, he was a 4-year college player, so you kind of feel like you know what you got in him already. He struggled a little bit in the start of summer league, even though he, came on towards the end there. Was a rookie last year, played some minutes under Thibodeau. I thought played well. Was a really good distributor of the basketball. Did not really play good defense, but you saw why he was drafted and why there are Knicks fans who are so high on him. However, I think he's going to be the odd man out here. I think he's the one going to be traded. I think he's the one that's going to be out. I think the Knicks look at Dadier, from a first-round pick, somebody who they think they could probably develop later on. Even though they're not looking towards the future right now, I do think they see more of a future with him than they see with Tyler Kolek. Also, Brogdon plays the same position as Kolek, so you're going to bring in Brogdon, not trade Kolek for what? It doesn't really make any sense. It just makes sense for Brogdon to take Kolek's spot on the roster. What I'm more concerned about right now is what happens with Deuce McBride. Now, some Knicks creators have mentioned that maybe he would be a trade candidate. I'm not going that far. The Knicks have a bargain right now in his contract. He's definitely going to want more money by the end of it, and that's going to be coming pretty soon. But it's going to be very interesting to see how Mike Brown works Malcolm Brogdon, Jordan Clarkson, and Deuce McBride into the rotation. Those are three guards who pretty much are your point guards and shooting guards, all pretty small. I don't know if he would put all three of them on at the same time unless he's going super small. How do you work that out? If Brogdon's getting significant minutes in the rotation, you just signed Jordan Clarkson to be, the scorer off the bench. What about Deuce? Is Deuce getting the same amount of minutes that he's been getting for the past year and a half? I don't know. Deuce is, in my opinion, right now the best defender of the three. Malcolm has always been a good defender, but he's been hurt. Probably not as quick laterally as he used to be. So I think he deserves a spot there. But you did see in Sacramento when Mike Brown did have Keon Ellis, he was in and out of the rotation. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens here with Deuce McBride, because I do believe this chance report. I do think the Knicks are looking forward to having Malcolm Brogdon in the rotation, but then that means somebody's the odd man out here. And that's not saying that Deuce won't get minutes. Mike Brown said in the press conference yesterday he wants to have a 9-10 man rotation. So there's going to be a lot of people playing. But what is his role going to be? Is he going to be happy in that role? And is this going to lead to a trade further down the road? If Deuce is not needed, do you trade Deuce for maybe another 3-and-D player? I don't know. I think these are fair questions to ask. I'd be very interested what Mike Brown does if Malcolm Brogdon is on this team, depending on whose spots he takes. It's going to be something that I'm going to be very glued to in the beginning of the season to see how he distributes those minutes in the bench. All right, before we get out of here, more stuff from Media Day yesterday, or Content Day, whatever they want to call it. When asked about the starting five, Josh Hart said that it won't be a problem. He thinks he is a starter in this league, but he's not going to let ego get in the way, not going to be selfish. If he has to go to the bench, he will go to the bench. And I think this is a very professional answer, but we know Josh Hart. Josh Hart is a very real individual. Like, he said it in a way where I actually believe him. And I think that's a good thing, because I do think Josh is going to the bench. And I think he would handle going back to the bench better than actually Mitchell Robinson would handle going back to the bench. We've seen Mitch on social media complain all the time. He's very emotional. I don't think he's somebody who can take demotions and promotions back and forth, whereas Josh seems to be a little more professional, and I'm glad that he sees it this way. I'm glad that he's confident in his abilities, that he's could be a starter in this league, because he can be. But I'm also excited that he is aware of the situation, and he knows that maybe going back to the bench is what's best for this team. But let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think Josh should start? Do you think he should come off the bench? Do you think Mitch should start? Do you think Mitch should come off the bench? I want to know what you think. Make sure to subscribe. We're going to be bringing videos every weekday up until the season starts. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Like the video. I'll see you tomorrow for an episode of Knicks Latest. Peace.